Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into something truly fascinating. We're unpacking the highly ambitious Ashlang Management Consultancy Plan, which is this incredibly bold strategy aimed at completely revolutionizing Pakistan's socioeconomic landscape. When we normally think about premier global consulting firms, names like McKinsey, BCG, or Bain usually pop into our heads, right? We picture them operating out of these towering glass skyscrapers. But what if the infrastructure for the next massive economic transformation was already built and just quietly sitting at the heart of practically every local community? In this explainer, we're going to explore a master plan that aims to merge world-class consulting practices with deep-rooted community trust to spark some seriously unprecedented economic development. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at the grand vision. 2, their unique business model. 3, the AI and blockchain edge. 4, the 3-phase rollout. 5, the financial projections. And finally, number 6, the massive social impact. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The Grand Vision. Community Trust Meets Consulting.
300,000. Let that number sink in for a second, because it's absolutely wild. This represents the total number of hyper-local branches Ashley actually intends to operate. Just to put that massive scale into perspective for you, the biggest global fast food chains might boast somewhere around 40 to 50,000 locations worldwide. Ashley is planning to activate a staggering 300,000 branches inside a single nation. The core vision here is all about democratizing access to expertise. They want to take high-level management consulting out of those exclusive corporate boardrooms and embed it directly into the neighborhoods where small and medium enterprises actually do business. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth do they achieve this? Well, by repurposing existing nationwide mosques into decentralized hubs. It's a brilliant way of combining established community trust with elite consulting practices. By tapping into this pre-existing infrastructure, they literally solve their real estate and local integration challenges in one single stroke. Think about it. In emerging economies, trust is a massive, massive currency. By partnering up with religious scholars and training local leaders, this plan leverages the deep-seated respect these centers already command to drive skill development and inclusive economic transformation right at the grassroots level. Section 2. A unique business model, servicing the local economy.
So how does this actually sustain itself? The crucial takeaway from their business model is how strategically they target SMEs and government entities. They leverage that trusted local presence to provide consulting and integrated skill development that is actually affordable. And their revenue streams? It's not just about charging crazy high hourly fees. It's a very diversified, self-sustaining approach. They plan to generate income through SME-tailored consulting fees and paid training programs. But crucially, they're also securing grants and sponsorships from government bodies and international NGOs. Think major players like the UNDP and USAID, who are always actively looking for more effective, transparent channels to distribute their developmental aid. And these hubs aren't just going to offer your standard run-of-the-mill strategy advice. They're going much deeper, expanding into digital transformation, vocational training, and even offering physical co-working spaces hooked up with microfinance linkages. Imagine you're a local artisan, or maybe you run a small tech startup. Instead of enduring a brutal commute to a major city center, you just walk down to your local hub to get supply chain advice, help setting up your e-commerce, or even access to microloans. It's essentially a fully integrated community incubator designed to nurture businesses right from the ground up, all while aligning with broader sustainable development goals like education and gender equity. Section 3. The AI and blockchain edge, next generation tech stack. Now, I know blockchain can look a bit of a tech buzzword, but here it's absolutely critical. Basically, a blockchain creates an unchangeable, hyper-secure digital ledger. And that is exactly why Ashley is utilizing it. They need to ensure completely transparent fund utilization across this massive network. When you're dealing with millions of dollars in grants and thousands of microloans scattered across hundreds of thousands of decentralized locations, fraud and mismanagement are, frankly, your biggest risks. By implementing this decentralized ledger, every single transaction, grant, and fee is recorded immutably. That creates an incredibly high level of trust for those international donors and government partners we mentioned, which is make or break for their funding model.
But they don't stop at blockchain. They actually pair that immutable transparency with the predictive power of AI and machine learning. It's kind of like a dynamic duo. While the blockchain is busy flawlessly tracking the money, the artificial intelligence is evaluating the actual outcomes to mitigate quality control risks. By feeding data from all 300,000 hubs into a centralized monitoring framework, the AI starts to recognize patterns. It can actually predict which types of SME interventions are most likely to succeed in very specific regions. That means the entire network is constantly learning and optimizing its consulting advice in real time.
Section 4, the three-phase rollout, from pilot to global expansion.
Of course, you can't just flip a switch and open hundreds of thousands of locations overnight. So they've laid out a very pragmatic, focused 5-year timeline. Year 1 is the pilot phase. 1,000 mosques backed by $2 million in seed funding, entirely focused on proving the concept by training the first 500 community managers and getting the digital platforms online. But check out the jump in phase 2. To hit 50,000 branches by year 3, they shift to a franchise model. This is a brilliant move because it completely decentralizes the operational burden, empowering local leaders to take ownership while still following the central Aisley framework. By phase 3, years 4 and 5, they aim to hit the full 300,000 rollout and even begin eyeing global expansion into the Middle East and Africa. Section 5, Financial Projections, the path to $300 million.
Okay, let's talk numbers, because this is an incredibly aggressive revenue scale-up. We're looking at a jump from $2 million in the pilot year to a staggering $300 million in revenue by year 5, with a projected net income of $100 million. If you follow private equity or venture capital, you've probably heard of the J-curve effect, where you expect initial negative returns while deploying capital, followed by rapidly accelerating positive returns. Ashley is anticipating exactly this. They project a $500,000 loss in their year 1 pilot as they build out the heavy infrastructure, but that rapidly turns into a $20 million net income by year 3 as the franchise model catches fire, culminating in a highly profitable mature network by year 5.
Section 6, Massive Social Impact, Transforming a Nation. Beyond the impressive financials, this right here is the true heart of the explainer, the sweeping socioeconomic impact. Over the next 5 to 10 years, this model aims to train 1 million individuals and actively support 1 million SMEs. The ripple effect of that is just profound. Small and medium enterprises are literally the backbone of emerging economies. By giving 1 million of these smaller businesses the exact kind of strategic, digital, and operational consulting normally reserved for massive multinational corporations, Ashley is effectively aiming to upgrade the entire commercial foundation of the country. And because of that massive push, this ecosystem is projected to create an incredible 500,000 jobs. It makes perfect sense, right? When 1 million SMEs learn how to optimize their supply chains, successfully adopt e-commerce, and finally access microfinance, they naturally scale up. And when businesses scale, they hire. This isn't just a fun metric on a pitch deck. This represents 500,000 real livelihoods generated through community-driven, decentralized support. So here is the ultimate takeaway. By combining that explosive SME growth with 500,000 new jobs, Ashley projects they will ultimately contribute an impressive 5% to the national GDP. This is why this matters so much. It isn't just about building a wildly successful consulting firm. It's a structural economic intervention designed to alter a nation's entire GDP output. By taking underutilized community centers and turning them into powerhouses of economic activity, the macroeconomic payoff here could literally make history. As we wrap up this explainer on Ashley's visionary blueprint, it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How easily could this incredible fusion of ancient community centers and cutting-edge tech be adapted to transform other economies around the globe? Think about it. If this model proves successful in Pakistan, pairing the deep trust of local institutions with AI and blockchain to deliver scalable consulting, there is absolutely no reason it couldn't be a game changer across the Middle East, Africa, and beyond. It completely reimagines how we approach economic development, shifting power away from central top-down institutions and putting it right back into the hands of local communities. What do you think? Could this be the future of global economic development?